political feud between President Trump and his former ally, Elon Musk. Musk has now threatened to form and fund a new political party if Joining us now to break it all down, NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie Sirkin and NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba's with us as well. Julie, I'll start on Capitol Hill. There was a lot of infighting, negotiating among Republicans over the last few days. How did they finally pass this bill?
A lot of side deal guys and keeping the pressure up and the air cool in the chamber to try to get this process moving along and keep everybody awake. But a lot of what's in this bill, you saw it on your screen, there were some changes in the Senate, which is definitely something Speaker Johnson warned the Senate not to do. And you see what's in there. Importantly, some of the side deals that change the provisions at the last minute. Let's talk about something like that AI provision. Remember, originally the Senate didn't want states, and the House, by the way, did not want states to be able to regulate and write their own rules of the road for artificial intelligence. At the last minute, overnight, that provision was taken out of the bill. Some changes as well to the clean energy tax credits were secured by Republicans that come from energy producing states, solar and wind, for example, projects that are already off the ground. Those companies don't have to worry just yet. But there are also some hard-hitting provisions in this bill that could impact millions of Americans, namely those social safety net programs like Medicaid. And it is something that Senator Lisa Murkowski, who even voted for this bill, acknowledged to my colleague Ryan Nobles is going to hurt the other 49 states. And that is because somebody like Murkowski was prioritized through this. She got some special carve-outs for her state because leadership knows that they needed her vote. That's how they were ultimately able to get it over the finish line, with Vice President Vance breaking the tie.
Monica, let's bring you in here because the president's feud with Elon Musk had been pretty quiet for a short time. Clearly no longer the case. What are they saying now?
Yeah, it was just on pause, maybe we can say, Zane Clay, ignited again over the central issue that caused their initial major feud about a month ago, which is this legislation. Elon Musk has been very critical of all of the spending. Remember, he was the one who was tasked with trying to reduce and try to make the government more efficient through his Doge work. And the president is really firing back at him for being critical of his signature legislation. Here's a little more of what he had to say before leaving Florida today.
He's losing his EV mandate, and we accept. He's very upset about things, but he could lose a lot more than that. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to eat Elon. Terrible. He gets a lot of subsidies.
Of course, that reference there to the EV mandate, the electric vehicle mandate, which was a big issue of debate between the. For his part, the richest man in the world fired back, saying this does pass the House in the next couple of days. The America Party will be formed the next day. That's something he had been teasing could happen, and he points to it as an alternative to the Democrat-Republican uniparty so that the people actually have a voice. Now, his influence here isn't to be underestimated, guys, because he could put a lot of money behind the people who are now challenging perhaps those Republicans who did end up voting for this in the end.
And Julie, this bill now goes back to the House with the changes the Senate made. How does that process look? Could it get passed by Friday, July 4th?
Oh, that's going to be so hard, guys. Speaker Johnson is trying to pressure this through by scheduling the votes already for tomorrow. We've already heard from a handful of conservatives who have said they're not voting for the bill. They're not even voting for that first step to the bill in the House. There are different rules. So first they have to approve what's called a rule vote. It's the procedural vote to get on the final bill. So that's the question we're asking here. But just to pick up where Monica left off here, when you're talking about Elon Musk, we're very much watching that in the House too, because somebody like Thomas Massey, who is no stranger to the president's ire, said he's going to oppose this bill again. He already opposed it the first time around. And Elon Musk said, hey, I'll fund you in November.
Interesting. Julie Sirkin, Monica Alba, thank you both. Let's turn now to some consumer news. More than 800,000 minimum wage workers are getting a pay bump. And Meta adds new features to Threads. Kate Rogers joins us now with today's CNBC Money Minute. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate and Zane Clay. Hundreds of thousands of U.S. workers are getting a bump in pay today. Minimum wage increases are now in effect for nearly 24 states, cities, and local municipalities effective today. That includes Alaska, which will increase minimum wage to $13 an hour, and California, which will increase to $24 an hour for many health workers in the state. Instagram's Threads app has officially launched a feature that allows users 18 and older to privately message their followers on Threads or mutual followers on Instagram. Meta, which owns both Instagram and Threads, said the messages are protected under its privacy standards account structure. And expect even more ads before a movie at your local AMC theater. Starting today, a deal between the movie theater chain and ad giant National Cinema takes effect, which will place ads in the so-called platinum spot. That's the coveted period that's right before a movie begins. AMC says the pre-show material, which includes trailers and other promotions, can last now between 25 and 30 minutes. That is a long time.
I love that. So
You do?
Yeah,
So you
can
can
show
a little more margin, with ads. So I love an ad. I love a little preview.
Yeah, I like the previews. I don't know about ads.
Well, interest, that is a distinction, isn't it?
Kate Rogers, thank you.
Thanks. And coming up, move over Christmas in July, why more people are getting in the Halloween spirit a little early this year and why it's scary good for business.